is not an FJ Cruiser. This is a 79 series dual cab V8 Cruiser. And that makes me very happy. I miss my FJ, I love that vehicle. It unfortunately got written off at the end of last year. Kim was driving it and a rut kicked her. It went onto its side, it was written off, it just didn't come back, it cost too much to fix. So we managed to get what we want off it, and we started hunting for a replacement vehicle. We looked at some sort of dual cab utes around the 30k range, second hand, but we kept coming back to, geez, we'd really love a dual cab Land Cruiser. It's a long-term plan, it's the car we want to end up with. So we went into it knowing that we'd have to basically get a home loan to do it. So we did, and we got behind one of these, test drove one at Broome Toyota, and the smile on her face, you couldn't get it off it. It just felt like home. It was at that point we knew we had to start hunting for one and just bite the bullet and get one. So talking to Andy and Hillboy at length while we're driving around Queensland on a Capricorn trip, I came up with the concept of doing it like an African safari vehicle. So in terms of the function of it, the flat trays are great. All the canopies on the market for the big flat trays, all your Norweld, all that gear is fantastic Aussie made stuff. However, I quite like being a person of short stature, a person who is not that tall. I need to be able to get to my gear easily without having to get on a bloody milk crate. So the beauty of this is you get that tailgate and you can actually drop down the tailgate and the access is just over the wheels. You've got a full drawer system and the fridge, it's all nice and low. You don't have to go reaching up into your fridge, it's down here. It's my personal preference, and at that point I started researching some African safari spec vehicles. There are some brilliant mobs in Africa that do serious overland travel in these exact vehicles. Over there they're available both as petrol and a V8, and I think they even still produce the older diesels in some of them. That's what they have over there, and they only have these tubs. These tubs you can't get in Australia through Toyota. The only way is to privately have one imported. I got one from a bloke who imports them down in Perth, had it colour matched to the vehicle in midnight blue, and then went about sourcing a canopy for the top of it, which bolts straight onto the tub. It's aluminium. This is from Alucab, made in South Africa. We had to wait a while for it because it was basically a custom order, because they don't usually sell these in Australia, and I'm pretty sure I've been told this is the first one in Australia. Also what we've done is put a Kmart bar on the rear. So Kmart's Ozbar range it's a slightly cheaper range of bar with the same quality level to it. So basically they've cut a couple of the frills, your rubber on the handles, those little bits and pieces, to make it even more affordable for the average person. And you know what, I've owned Kmart bars on 2 other Toyotas and now owned this, and apart from the rubber on the handle, I can't tell the difference. The build quality is phenomenal. What it means for me is not only is it rear protection, it also means the taillights aren't going to fall out like they did on my Nissan Patrol, and like is prone to a lot of vehicles with plastic rear bars. On the utes obviously you don't have plastic rear bars, but this is not only protection down low, but I also have the tyres on the back, not one under the tray, pushing my tray even further up, and one on the roof. Where I go, I've been in situations where if I didn't have a second spare, I'd be in trouble, namely Gibb River Road, Tanami Desert, etc., Mitchell Plateau, up in the Kimberleys. I wouldn't be anywhere touring seriously in this vehicle without a second spare, in any vehicles, mind you. So, as I said, drifter drawers, which we got out of our FJ, beautiful build quality, you're never going to get me to get rid of those. Our National Luna fridge just sits a dream next to it, like they were made to sit across this tub. And then I've done some cabinetry to make it all fit together and wired in a dual battery system. The Howling Moon rooftop tent from our FJ, which we managed to save when the FJ rolled over, the tent was on it. Very little damage, one bent bracket and a hole in the cover. So it goes to show how bloody tough those things are. Andre from Howling Moon has kindly furnished us with some parts to be able to fix that up, and we have. And we will once again live in that tent. We absolutely love it. So the interesting thing will be how that mounts on this, and that's one you'll have to wait and see. I'll fill you in on that, but it's going to be an exciting little addition, how that mounts up on this vehicle. And obviously we have the off-road trailer on the back as well, which was built by Shane Healy of Kimberley Tough Trailers up in Broome, with a little bit of help from myself. Thanks for that, mate. And you know what? That and this, it's long, it's heavy, it's big, but I'm not rock crawling, I'm not mudslinging, I'm not yahooing and doing stupid stuff. I'm genuinely wanting to explore and tour through the most beautiful parts of Australia I can find. And this is a way to do it in comfort. Sure, a 70 series is not as comfortable as a 200 series, and yeah, they have the same engine, so why would I go for the old agricultural version? Because it's bulletproof, it's simple, it's repeatable, it's repairable, it's a known quantity. And I've got touring seats in it with air suspension, which happened to be in it when I got it, and they're bloody comfortable, so I don't think I need a 200 series, that's just my personal preference. Anyway, stay tuned, subscribe to the YouTube channel, we'll keep you updated on this build, as well as Andy's new Challenger, as well as Hillboy's Patrol as he tweaks it and gets some more bits and pieces on it.